guys, what is up? It's HVL Manga here, and I am so excited because today I am going to be sharing with you guys all of the manga that I've read in the month of February. So I've read around 10-ish volumes, which tends to be kind of on average for what I read per month, which is great because I'm back in school and life is busy. So let's not delay the video and get right into it. Here are all the manga that I've read in the month of February. So the first manga that I read this month is The Legend of Doro and Hiyakimaru. Now I talked a little bit about this in my haul video. If you haven't seen it, go check it out, link in the description box down below. Here are my thoughts. So honestly, I got this only because of the anime. Watched Doro the anime, easily one of my favorites. It was so good, and I wanted to find some manga adaptation of the series, and I found this. So I picked it up, read volume 1, and honestly, straight up opinions, it's okay. I think I found myself comparing it far too much to the anime itself, that it kind of didn't do much for me on the manga front. So I read volume 1, I have volume 2 as well. I need to read that volume as well to really kind of solidify my feelings on this series, but so far, honestly, it's just okay. I will say the art is beautiful. They did a really incredible job on the art, and yeah, so I don't know. We'll see how this goes. I need to read volume 2, but so far, honestly, this is just okay. The next manga that I read this month is, I was actually returning to a series that I started a while ago and haven't really read much of yet. That is Tokyo Ghoul. So I read Tokyo Ghoul Volume 6. This series is great. I thoroughly enjoy it. I love the premise. I love how kind of dark and kind of weird it can get. And I'm almost at my favorite, not my favorite part, like the creepiest part in the series. In volume 7, if you know, you know. But this series is honestly one that I kind of just go to periodically. It's not one that I'm like, oh, I need to binge, you know what I mean? So just read volume 6 this month, and it was a great volume. I enjoy Tokyo Ghoul. I just need to actually sit down and read more of the volumes because I have the entire set. Now the next manga that I read this month, this series actually took up a majority of my reading this month. Blue Flag volumes 1 through 6. This series is so good. Like, coming from an individual who really only likes seinen, shonen stuff, this was so freaking good. It was one of those, it was a series that I absolutely binged. I couldn't put it down. It's basically just a love triangle story, and I am so excited to see how this ends. I read volume 6 like last night, and it left on such a freaking cliffhanger, so I am definitely picking up the last 2 volumes, and I am hoping the 2 people that I want to get together gets together. So we'll see, but regardless, Blue Flag is such a good series, and just again, I know I say it every single time that I mention this series, such a nice change of pace in my collection. The next manga that I read this month was the Vinland Saga Volume 4, A King is Born. This series, I don't know why it's taking me so freaking long to get through it, but it kind of is, not in a bad way, but just like, I tend to forget about it in a really weird way. Like, this is my favorite series, easily by far in my collection, that I've ever read. And I think I like get consumed by other series that I forget how freaking good this one is. So then I read like a volume, like I just read volume 4, and I'm like, okay, I need to immediately get back to reading this because this was so good. I honestly, the end of this manga borderline had me in tears. If you know, you know. It's so good. I love all of the characters, a majority of the characters, and I am so excited for the next volume because that gets into one of the best arcs from what I've heard. So I am so excited, so good. Y'all already know, I freaking love this manga. Now this next series that I read this month, I am so glad to see people finally getting on the hype train for this manga, and that is Golden Kamoy. I'm gonna give up and just call it Golden Kamoy, okay? This is so good. I can't even begin to sing enough praises about this manga. So I read volumes 1 and 2, and I loved both of them. They were both so good. I love the characters, Sugimoto, Aspira. Hopefully I said their names right. Regardless, so good. Legitimately, probably, this would be easily in my top 5 manga series so far. It's so good. Please read it, and I'm definitely picking up the rest of it. Now, the last manga that I've read this month, or rather I'm currently reading, but I just thought I'd include it in today's video, that is Goodnight Pun Pun. So if you noticed, or you didn't notice, I have the complete collection of Goodnight Pun Pun. I recently got it, I think it came in the mail yesterday actually. Got it for a really good price, and I've heard so many good things about it that I decided to pick it up, give it a shot. So I'm about a third, I would say, through the manga, or through the first volume. So I'm just gonna give you my thoughts currently. This story is basically about our main character Pun Pun going through his life from elementary school to adulthood, and kind of him, from what I've heard, you know, I'm only a third through the book, going just through some really hard stuff, and it's apparently a depressing story. Regardless, so far, it's been kind of like a slow burn for me. I haven't been like super hooked on it yet. It's still a good series and I'm enjoying it, but it's not one like, I don't know, Blue Flag, where I literally just had to read the next volume, like couldn't stop reading it. I've heard that a lot of individuals say that after the first volume, so the second volume, the story kind of picks up a little bit. So regardless, I'm excited to read it, and I hope I love it. I will say these covers and spines are beautiful. Like, this just feels like a really, really nice book, and I'm excited to get more into this series because so many of you guys like it. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you guys and the support that you give to me in the channel. I know I say this every single time, but I really appreciate you guys. But I also want to know, what was your favorite manga that you read this past month? Please let me know in the comments down below. I would love to hear you guys' responses. So again, thank you for watching. Hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.